I don't know that we've ever built a home to where the people hated the home.
Right.
That we've definitely built and people had problems with the process, right? Or they had something. But like what's really fun for me is like you do such a good job of connecting on a human level.
Right.
You know, and we all identify this that this is stressful.
Yeah.
It's an arduous process and they're not going to understand everything.
Yeah.
And so like what do you do to help communicate that to a family that's, I mean, sometimes they're on site, right? Living on site. Mm-hmm. But like, what do you do as a project manager in addition to trying to hold this project on budget because we've promised them a delivery price, hold it on schedule because we've promised them a move-in date, and keep things moving with all the obstacles that come along with that between weather, acts of God, material shortages, you know, labor crunches, or like we're doing so much that sometimes, you know, we're having to double schedule guys and they're over here and then they go, as soon as they finish, they're coming to your job. And, you know, those gaps, we still close that schedule, but occasionally something moves and a client comes in or they walk in mid, you know, something's happening. Like they get there in the middle and it doesn't look how they think it should. And like they have so many questions and they're always wondering because they've invested their whole life and all their money and everything into this. And you know, when you get them to the door key moment, they're going to be happy. Yeah. What do you do different to really like connect with them and humanize that process and help them?
I think the biggest key is communication, regular communication throughout the build. I let them know that, you know, there's no dumb questions. And ask me what you want, you know what I mean? If I have an answer to it, I'll give you the answer, you know? Just communicating with them, you know, and just letting them know who I am and building that trust with the homeowner is huge, you know, because, you know, I try my best and to be the most trustworthy person I could be today, you know, and I have a strong faith in God, and I try to treat people extremely fairly, you know, and just communicating with them, you know, just a regular and building that relationship with them through the build is huge too, you know, just, you know, constantly building it, having meetings with them, you know, hey, this is what's going on, you know, and like I said, a lot of them are always there when you're there anyway. Just taking the time and making them feel comfortable, like, you know, I got this, you know, just give me the time to build you the house that you know, your dream house. So and that's huge, you know.
So what got you into this? How did you get into this construction game?
Construction, I've been doing it since I was about 15 years old, on and off. I did do personal training for a few years, and I loved that too, but that was just glorified babysitting. But I always loved the build. Like, I've done every aspect of the building part myself, you know, from concrete work to frame. The only thing I didn't really do was roofing, because I lived in South Florida and it's 800 degrees down there. But, you know, I've done everything and you know, cabinetry, trim work, painting. I've done it all. So I just always like working with my hands. And the biggest thing for me is, like, I like to see a finished product that I had my hands in. It's like, it's satisfying to me, like accomplishment, you know?
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Yeah.
I love to see them when they're done. You know? And I think that's what gets marketed, and that's what people see, and what they don't see, and what we've tried to do and be very, very transparent with is show construction.
Right.
You know, even when clients come in and they want to go tour property,
right,
we often take them to midline construction.
Yeah, which are usually mine.
Yeah, we take them out there. We want them to see it. We want to see this is what it looks like. Raw studs. This is what it looks like when they're running this. This is what it looks like before the pretty things come in.
Right.
And I think it prepares people to be able to handle that when they're in their own build. Yeah. Because all they can think about is, like, when is it done? And, you know, a lot of the questions are, well, it's not done yet.